Yes. Robert Strang joins us now. Robert is a former New York anti-terror task force co-chair. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for your patience and for hanging around with us today as we watch this breaking story develop. Now, just pick up from where Blake was there on the questions maybe that we still have unanswered following the president's comments.
Blake did a good job, because that's exactly what's happening right now. Everybody is taking a look to see who else could be involved. So when you make an arrest like this, you have to quickly go out, you have to take a look at phones, any personal data, you do a complete search warrant, you take all of that information, and you start to allocate all your resources in the field and develop, if a conspiracy exists, who else was involved. So that's exactly what's going on now. And remember, this is probably one of the biggest investigations in the country over the past 2 years. Over the past 2 days, there's been so much going on. Every state, federal, and local law enforcement agency has been working together. So now all those efforts are going into this defendant and what's happening here.
You caught yourself there 2 years versus 2 days, but it does bring up a larger point, Robert, about how quickly law enforcement was able to move. We were told by a number of experts like yourself over the last few days that that would be the case. I guess this guy just left behind so much evidence, right? But sometimes it sounds easier than it is. They did a great job here. What do you think was the key?
Well, the DNA. I mean, that's been helping law enforcement in a tremendous way. And I knew, you know, when Commissioner O'Neill yesterday said he was confident that we were going to get this individual, I knew that they were tracking it kind of closely. So DNA has been the key to a lot of the success in law enforcement.
That vehicle, we're looking at it on our screen right now, is a white van, and the earlier pictures of it showed, you know, signs all over, stickers, decals that would be supportive of President Trump. What about that idea of motive? How important is it? I brought this up a few times during the show today about whether or not the idea of what motivated this guy, especially if it's one person, is less important because it's one person, or is that something we still want to look very, very closely at?
Well, Connell, you know, I think from security's perspective, from law enforcement's perspective, motive obviously is a key issue, right? So when you're working with the Secret Service or the FBI, even in private security, we share information back and forth. And you try to narrow it down through the intelligence and the information that you've gathered over time with the current information. So motive is part of any police investigation. And here, you know, in addition to motive, we had a lot of evidence, right? We had the forensics on the actual device itself. We had the stamps and the envelope that was very clear. So the police were really focusing in on what they had in hand on all of these different devices and envelopes and the DNA. And so it's a combination. When you start, you need a motive. You start to collect your intelligence from all your state and local and federal agencies. And at that point, this is what happens, a success story like this. Again, you know, we don't know yet whether this individual, I'm sure as we speak, they're doing search warrants, and usually in a case like this, we don't know the details of the arrest, but usually in a case like this, a search warrant is being executed, and they're allocating all their resources to all their electronic data. So we'll find out soon whether or not this was an individual or a group of people.
Yeah, pipe bombs mailed to prominent officials or pipe bomb-like devices that never exploded, Robert, which was another thing that many officials pointed out over the last couple of days. There were divergent views on what the meaning of that was, if anything. What's yours?
Yeah, I think that you know, New York City, John Miller said yesterday that they were treating it, who's the head of terrorism in New York City, they were treating this as active explosives. These were things that could detonate. This is a very serious matter. And they wanted to be certain because they didn't know how many other of these envelopes were out around the country targeting different individuals. And that's one of the reasons that they put this message out, that if you do have an envelope like this with the stamps in the corner and the feels like this, and certainly you've got to call the police because it could detonate. They're for real.
Anything we learned, do you think, from this process that can be applied in the future after we went through the horror of 9/11, for example, which obviously isn't comparable, but it changed the way we go into a building here in a big city. It changed the way we travel. Does a scare like this change, you know, the way that that mail should be handled and/or screened? Obviously, former presidents have their mail screened off-site. Not all of us can have that as an option, but is there anything that can be done differently, do you think, and that we've learned from this scare as it was?
Well, I think yes, and one of the main things that we learned is that you have to always be prepared for the unexpected. You know, sometimes it can be a simple thing. We see more vehicles involved in attacks today. Now we're seeing the U.S. Postal Service. So, you know, we may be very sophisticated with how we think about the next attack on the United States, and it could be something very simple. So
that's right.
The intelligence information, the information that Secret Service and the FBI gather day to day to put these kinds of indexes together with potential suspects, that's proven here to be very valuable.
Right. This person was known, as we understand it, to law enforcement, and I'm sure that helped in the investigation. Robert, thank you for your expertise today. We appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you again. Robert Strang.